Now, Eyewitness Sports.
Football Fridays at Dunmore High School are always fun, but this past week a special occasion brought together multiple generations of Bucks as a legendary coach was honored. That is the subject of our Sports Spotlight. Hey. For 5 decades, Jack Henzes was the leader of one of the most consistent high school football programs in the state at Dunmore. And this past Friday, the school immortalized the legendary coach. A statue of Henzes was unveiled at the football stadium before the Bucks game against Riverside. Coach was there, surrounded by his family, current and former players, and many supporters from the community.
This is a wonderful honor. I appreciate it so very much. I want to thank Dunmore School Board and the Board of Education for this wonderful honor. It's truly tremendous.
Among those celebrating the occasion was Vic Fangio. He played for and coached alongside Henzes and was most recently the head coach of the Denver Broncos in the NFL.
I think the whole town of Dunmore is thankful to have him as our head coach for 47 years. Did a lot of good things here besides win football games, and I think the town should be thankful forever, and this statue should signify that.
Before the statue was unveiled, fellow Bucks spoke about Henzes and the impact he's had on the football team, the school, and the borough.
The word that comes to mind when I think of Coach Henzes is faith. And one of many lessons that I learned from him is to take inventory of yourself every day.
Coach, I look at you as more than just a coach. You're a father figure, a great role model to all of us, and I love you and thank you for having me part of the ceremony.
His son Jack and grandson Jake also spoke about what this day meant to the Henzes family.
My dad loved teaching the students more than anything. He loved being an educator. He loved all the students, everything about the school. Like I said, he had the best job for 47 years.
The amount of success he had on and off the field and the lives that he touched and the people that he was able to help and improve, and it's just an unbelievable thing.
And now the legacy of Jack Henzes will live on at Dunmore forever.
Once a Buck, always a Buck.
In baseball last night, an incredible ninth-inning comeback from the Yankees.
Thank you all for coming. I just want to announce we are on Coach Henzes' time, so we need to be ready to go. I want to thank you all for coming, and I want to welcome our honored guest and his family. Coach Henzes, thank you. Mrs. Roseanne Henzes, and their children, Kim, Jack, Randy, Melissa, and Wendy. Their spouses as well. Their spouses, Bob and Denise, Andrea, Greg, and Lou. Greg's coaching right now. I'd like to welcome you all on this wonderful night for the monument of our coach, Jack Henzes. All right. The Henzes family would like me to thank a few people, so first off, I'd like to thank our superintendent, Mr. John Marichak, and our principal, Mr. Tim Hopkins. Where are you guys? I see Timmy. There's John. He's not getting off the hook just yet. John, they're not getting off the hook. Both these men were standout student athletes and great coaches. And I truly believe that their past experiences help guide our current student athletes to their futures and to the right paths in life. So John and Timmy, thank you very much. To the Dunmore Board of Education for approving and supporting this wonderful day here in Dunmore for the monument of our coach, Jack Henzes. The family would also like to thank the Friends of the Bucks, Mr. Frank Montero, Tony Montero, Marianne DeSando, Lou and Gargiola, Pat Reese, and many other Friends of the Bucks that I may not mention, but I'm sure Mr. Montero will send a letter to every one of you, and there may be a request for a donation, so watch what we wish for.
Watch out for the basket money.
I'd like to thank Father Capoloni at St. Anthony's Parish for his many years of support for many of our teams. This is a wonderful night in honoring our coach. I'd like to say that I can't believe that the statue is here. Everyone remembers their moments with Coach Henzes. I met Coach for the very first time right here. And my brother Mike played on the team, and I was just looking for a seat to watch him play. And Coach was coming out that gate after practice, and I stood here 40 years ago, and I asked him to be a manager. And I just wanted to be a part of his team. I never knew the impact and the impact he would have on me for the rest of my life. And it's incredible. So we're going to move on. Before I introduce Coach McHale, I want to say that this statue stands for a reason that I believe 3 reasons. First, the school where Coach was first a teacher. And we all know that. He pushed education, and he believed knowledge was the vehicle to true success. So it overlooks the school. Secondly, it's right ahead of our field house where he uses teaching skills to prepare so many student athletes. And finally, it stands looking at the field where Coach brought hundreds and hundreds of victories and many, many championships. And he did that here for 47 years. Coach. Coach Hopkins is telling me to speed up here, so now I'm going to introduce the first speaker. I had to say my piece. First speaker is our head coach, Kevin McHale, and before I bring him up, Coach always told us that no person is any bigger than this program, and great men came before Coach, and I mentioned this at the banquet, and great men would follow, and Coach once again was right. Coach Kevin McHale worked along with Coach Henzes and led the Bucks to our 2007, our 2012, and our 2014 state championship final game. And as a senior, Coach McHale, fullback linebacker, led the Bucks to its first ever District 2 championship in 1995, and I'm honored to have coached him, and I feel fortunate to be part of his staff right now, together with Shelly, his wife, and 2 sons, Jack and Colin. They work every day to make this program, to continue to make this program successful. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Kevin McHale.
Thank you, Leonard, for those kind words. On behalf of the Dunmore School District, the great citizens of the borough of Dunmore, the Dunmore football program, and all of our supporters, I'd like to thank the Henzes family for their unwavering commitment to our student athletes, our football program, and our community for the past 47 years. I'd especially like to thank Miss Roseanne Henzes. We are grateful for her generosity and kindness. She is still very close to our program. Mrs. Henzes, we can't tell you how blessed we are for your support. In just the past 2 days, we reached out to some former players and asked them to give us one word that comes to mind when you think of Coach Henzes and a life lesson he taught you. Coach, we can write a book on the life lessons you have taught us. What better way for you to hear these messages than to have some of our current players read a message from some of your former players. The word that comes to mind when I think of Coach Henzes is faith. And one of many lessons that I learned from him is to take inventory of yourself every day, and you either get better or you get worse, but you never stay the same.
Michael DeSando, dedicated. The importance of being prepared. Tom Hurst, respect. Jack Capooci, genuine. Jeff Mills, committed. The importance of attention to detail.
Bruce Coyer, dedicated. Coach Henzes reinforced the importance of leading by example. Gene DeVizio, honorable. Honorable because that would describe him in all aspects of life. Patrick Reese Sr., fearless. He taught us that life outside of football is tough. With life, you're going to get knocked down. Life in football, you have to keep getting back up and meet your opponent with great fury. Win or lose, you have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and know that you gave 110%, because 100% is unacceptable.
Lou and Gargiola. It's hard to describe Coach in one word, but if I had to, it would be love. He taught me the importance of faith and family first than the rest relating to football. Kurt Bauman, grit. God must be first. Dave Unisco, intestinal fortitude. It's not one word, but two. Intestinal fortitude. I was taught that the lessons learned playing, mostly practicing and or preparing for the game, are more important than the game itself. Preparation, accountability, teamwork, selflessness, sacrifice, leadership, respect for oneself, teammates, and the opponents.
Sean Gallager Sr., resilient. Coach Henzes taught me to trust those around me and trust in my own abilities. Michael Gardier, authentic, grateful for his values and how he turned me into a man.
Pat Hart, unwavering, grateful that Coach taught us how to be a gentleman and put the time into doing things the right way. Beyond football, he wanted us to grow up to be successful members of our community. Kevin Spager, calculated. I would say that Coach taught us perseverance towards a goal and giving us the tools to adjust when needed, not only on the field but in life.
Miller Holmes, discipline. Coach Henzes developed habits that were necessary for the style of the football program he wanted to run. His brutal honesty and criticism forced you to work harder every day. Greg Lukowski, finish. The biggest thing I still take with me every day is a lesson in quote. It's not how you start, but it's how you finish. Believe in it when I played and first saw it hand against Lansdale Catholic, going down 14-0 early. Believed in it when I started my career to where I've gotten. And I believe in it on a smaller day-to-day scale. Being in sales doesn't matter how you start your day or your week. If you end strong, you won the day or week. Go Bucks.
Justin Mitchell. He taught me that how you handle adversity helps you to define your character. Michael Enoch, passionate. One thing that I am glad he taught me that I still use today would be give 100% in whatever you are doing and do it with pride.
Colin Holmes, uplifting. Grateful for him staying true for what he believed in, even if it was never the most popular decision. Grateful for the life lessons of football that he emphasized. Preparation, dealing with adversity, staying in a routine, prioritizing the classroom over football, goal setting. All of those principles have been important for my development as a person, friend, and family member.
Tom DeLilla, selfless. Grateful to be part of the legacy he helped create and take pride in holding myself accountable as a Buck. Coach helped me instill great values on me and assisted with building exceptional character on and off the field.
Brian Hales, intense. Do everything with integrity. Ross Cadaro, perseverance. Persevere on the field and in life. Dave Zankner, the word that comes to mind is football. He loved everything about the game and was born with a whistle. He taught players respect on and off the field as he turned young boys into men. Derek Fergione, character. Character values plus mental toughness equal consistency.
Sean Colo, integrity.
Coach always stressed the importance of being honest, truthful, and doing things the right way, always on the field, even more importantly, off the field. There was no cutting corners or shortcuts to success, and these weren't just words. He led by example. Beyond personal integrity, Coach also stressed the integrity of the game, things like respecting our opponents, honoring the rules, and abiding by the referee's decisions. For me, one of the many lessons I'm grateful for was that Coach Henzes taught us how to win. We were absolutely fortunate to have an exceptional team and a win-loss record, so we had a lot of practice. But once you get used to winning, it becomes part of who you are. For me, that created a mental framework that I apply often, especially in the corporate world. Winning just doesn't happen. It takes incredible focus, intensity, and preparation. For me, the success we had on the field inspired a lifelong drive to achieve the same level of success off the field. So I'm thankful to Coach for teaching me this invaluable insight.
Joe Marciano, innovator. We played a game at Berwick, and during the week, Coach gave me a wristband with formations and plays on it. He will signal in a number, and as his quarterback, I would look on my wristband and call the play. This was his very first season at Dunmore. I wore a wristband before there were ever wristbands, and now it's common. Innovator. Comes to a mind a creator of new ideas. And up to the days before we both retired, he would call back and look for new ideas. That's something about Coach Henzes. A coach. He was always seeking to get better. He made everyone better. I'm extremely proud to be one of Coach Henzes' first captains at Dunmore High School back in 1971. God bless Coach Henzes, and God bless 32 Trap.
Great job, guys. That's one thing Coach McHale always stresses, the public speaking. They do a great job. Excellent job, guys. Excellent job. I saw our athletic director. I need to give a shout out to him, Mark Finan. He's so busy because it is game night, and thank you for letting us go off schedule a little bit, Mark. So hands clap for Mark Finan, our athletic director. Before I go there, our next speaker, I see someone in the crowd. I lost him, but there's a guy named Vic Fangio here in the audience that might want to say a word or two. Before he gets up, I don't know if you know Vic Fangio, but he was the head coach of the Denver Broncos just recently. He's been a lot of places. He has been on the biggest of stages, but I do want to say that many times you might hear Chicago Bears Coach Fangio, 49ers Vic Fangio, head coach Denver Broncos. But tonight, I'm sure he would not mind me saying from the Dunmore Bucks and Electric Street, right over there at Dunmore, Victor Fangio, ladies and gentlemen.
How's it going? 413 wins. I could have used a few of those in my last night. I'll just say a few things here. You know, the two words that come to my mind when you ask about Coach is, passion and intensity. The guy had a passion for football, had a passion for teaching young men the right way, and as much as he had a passion and intensity for winning, if you did wrong, he was going to sit you. Okay, and that didn't change, right? Hope not. So he won a lot of games. He won them the right way, but it's his passion and intensity for the game that I was attracted to and started me on my long journey. And I thank you for that, Coach. It says on that statue, educator also, but to be a great educator, you always have to be willing to have a drive to learn. And he never stopped trying to learn. You know, he'd call me wherever I was over the last 40 years, and always looking for a tip, some new play, some new defense, something to help him get a win. You know, and to me that just goes back to the intensity and the passion that he had for the game, and he never lost that. I mean, I saw it, I stayed in touch with him all through those years, and it's that, to me, the passion and intensity that he had for football and for Dunmore High School was unparalleled. And I think the town, he's a treasure for this town. 47 years, I mean, come on. I couldn't last more than 3. So the whole town, not just this area, but specifically Dunmore, has been lucky and honored and privileged to have Coach in our lives.
Yes, you're right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Fangio. We have one more speaker before Coach, and I think we all know him as Michael Perry. Coach Michael Perry, he's special, and we all remember him when he played. But to explain why he was special is that, you know, when Coach coaches running backs, when going out of bounds, you just don't run out of bounds as a running back. You have to deliver a blow to the defender before running out of bounds. And it was freshman year that I realized how special Michael was when he was right here. I think it was West Side, Mike, and he was going out of bounds, and he laid a shot on that guy. And Coach Henzes ran up to him and helped him up and whispered in his ear hole, he said, of his helmet, he said, "Michael, get out of bounds, son. Don't take that hit." And I looked on the sidelines like, well, am I on the right team? And I looked around, and I remember that coach, and I said, yeah, so we are. But that is the vision that Coach Fangio just talked about, that Coach Henzes had. He had the vision as a freshman for Michael Perry to go the long haul, which really brought us to a state championship game, as you know, against Jeanette, and then led him to the all-time leading rushing record. Michael, there wasn't much to coach for Michael, so I got to know him in the school. He was a great student. He helped me. I helped him with his senior project. Coach Kelly called me a B student at the banquet, but Michael, we got an A on that project, I think, right? Okay, and my wife Ellen got to know Michael because he would come up the house and we work on the projects. Student athlete that Coach Henzes that we always talk about. Student athlete was Michael Perry. What I'd like to say now is that when I introduce him, he's Dunmore High School's all-time leading rusher since 1899. That's a lot to say. And with yards of over 6,600 yards, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Michael Perry.
Good evening. You know, there's not much more that I could say about Coach Henzes that everyone here already doesn't know. I mean, the adjectives, the characteristics we used to describe him, I would agree with all of them and add a few more here. Just give a little bit of insights on my career at Dunmore and where I started from. So I came to Dunmore in 8th grade. I went to St. Mary's in Dunmore beforehand. So I was a little bit of an outsider coming in here to Dunmore. And Coach Henzes welcomed me with open arms there. You know, I never felt like an outsider from the first day I was in here. I was accepted. Being one of the only freshmen on the varsity team, he made sure that there was nothing going on, that I was not getting bullied or anything was happening that way, and that just speaks to, you know, Coach Henzes' character and discipline of how he controlled the team there. Going into the freshman year, after your first quarter report card, there'd be a line of students standing right outside the door here, and you weren't allowed to enter until Coach Henzes looked at your report card. He had your report card, and he had a notebook and pen and pad right there. And if you weren't passing a class, he was going to write that down. He was going to talk to your teacher, and if your grades weren't up to par, he was going to talk to your teacher about it. So I know English was always my worst class, and he used to always ask me, "Michael, why do you have an 85 in English?" And I used to always say on me about that English grade, about trying to bring it up to a 90 like all my other ones there. So he always strived for more and pushed you more, even if you weren't, on the borderline of failing there. Turn to my sophomore year, where he's teaching me for driver's ed, and just to show that Coach Henzes always go above and beyond, I'd wake up from school, I'd go out to my kitchen table, Coach Henzes would be having coffee with my mom and my grandmother. He'd say, "Michael, get dressed, we're gonna go driving before school." And how do you say no to Coach Henzes? You don't, right? So even after I left Dunmore High School, I went on to Bryant University. Coach Henzes and Roseanne used to, call in and check on me regularly. I would get postcards from them up at school, and that even carried throughout when I was living in Denver when I started my career. They always thought about me as more than just a football player. They cared about me as a person. And going on when I moved back to this area, when my mother had a stroke in 2016, Coach Henzes was one of the guys that showed up at the hospital, and he was right there for me and my family. And I appreciate everything that Coach has done for me. And even at my wedding in 2020, Coach Henzes was right there in the church with me there. So, Coach, I look at you as more than just a coach. You're a father figure, a great role model to all of us, and I love you, and thank you for having me part of the ceremony.
I just have one thing to say. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Jack Henzes.
I'd like to take a few minutes to express my gratitude for this wonderful honor. I could not have accomplished this success with the help and support of the following people: the past administration of the Dunmore Board of Education and Administration, the current and past members of the Friends of the Bucks, to all teachers, staff, coaches that I have worked with here at Dunmore community for their support and dedication, to my family and friends, especially my wife Roseanne, most importantly to all the students and players I had the privilege to be part of their lives. Dunmore was my home away from home. I will always cherish those memories. And once again, always a buck, always a buck. Thank you very much.
Coach is ready there. Okay. Okay. Well, the Friends of the Bucks are gonna unveil the statue. Yeah. I can read the plaque for everyone. Jack Henzes, Dunmore High School. Educator, coach, mentor, friend. 413 wins here, 155 losses, 8 ties. And like he just said earlier, once a buck, always a buck. to once again thank you everyone for coming, and we got a game to play, so go Bucks.
Go Bucks!
Next season. Hey, I'm not even going to be here next season. He says that every year. Mr. McNulty, thanks again.
Good job, Frank.
I'll be lovely. Thanks so much.
You know what CTC is, right? CTC. Yeah, I go to CTC. My teacher told me a lot about it. You know Mr. Makowski? Yeah.
Hey, Doc. Thank you. I'm going to catch him. I'll stop up. I want to say Coach one day. You get my picture? Get in there. I want 5 copies. Here we go. Okay, thank you. I'll be up. Congratulations, Coach. Great honor, buddy. Great honor. Well deserved. 5 copies. Really appreciate it. Well deserved. Coach Coleman. Hey, good seeing you. Good. 5 copies. Frank, thanks again. I'll be in. I was with Joe.
I was just going to ask you this. Did you get July 22nd? Oh, wonderful. Well, maybe we'll be a grandma. I'm going to try to take a picture. Yeah. We'll walk back down.
Is this one belonging in the picture too?
Yeah, come on.
Sammy. We just make it.
Yeah,
All right. Okay. Oh, I just do that. I'll bring it up. Good job, guys. Nice job, Albert. Hey, that was second. Good job. Tony, help. Good luck. The wing got me 28 So, Coach, how do you feel tonight being honored? That's unbelievable.
This is a wonderful honor. I appreciate it so very much. I want to thank Dunmore School Board and the Board of Education for this wonderful honor. It's truly tremendous. Thank you very much.
And what's your classic line? What do you always say? Once
a buck, always a buck.
Love it.
Here we go. Okay, wonderful.
Trouble on.
How about cheese?
I got about 6 of them.
Okay, that's it.
No, thank you for your call.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You went on.
Looks great. You're the pro, Rich.
Hey.
Everybody look right here. Don't blink. I'm going to get this too. Here we go. Looking right here. Looking at Rich.
All right, thank you. That's it?
There we go.
All right. All righty. Okay, we did it. Did I move? Mike, are you okay?
How was that? I wish I was.
Yes, I want. I'm gonna all the John Frank Henzes is here. Oh, okay. Yeah. Whatever you want to do. Yes. Your dad. What's okay? These are my dad. Well, wait. Oh, those are my dad. The John Frank Henzes. Oh, I'm on the picture. We're on the picture. Robert Wall. Okay. Am I in the way? How are you? John Frank. John Frank. Victor. All John Frank.
Coach Vic Fangio. it's obviously an honor for you to stand here tonight because, you know, you're kind of like the foundation of all this. So talk about that, how this tradition just keeps going.
Well, I'm not the foundation of it. Coach Henzes is. I'm one of the fruits of his labor, you know, because he had a great passion and a great intensity for the game of football. And I kind of caught that from him and made it a career. But you know, I don't think it would have happened if he wasn't the coach here at Dunmore. So always thankful for that. And I think the whole town of Dunmore is thankful to have him as our head coach for 47 years. Did a lot of good things here besides win football games, and I think the town should be thankful forever, and this statue should signify that.
Coach, I always enjoy your national press conferences. You always mention Dunmore. I remember the sneakers. That means a lot that you're mentioning your football coach at the national level.
Yeah, I mean, this is home, always has been, always will be, even though I don't get to spend much time here now. But Dunmore's my hometown, and I make no bones about that. And anytime I can support the town, I do.
Coach, where are you at? What's your future? What's your next step?
Oh, I don't know that yet. I'm just treating this year like a college professor on a paid sabbatical, and I'm studying the game, traveling, working on my golf game, and trying to enjoy a year off.
And where are you at now, Coach?
I'm living in Florida, but I'm all over the country visiting people at the moment.
You gotta get that. Tony! That's good. Let's get that helmet. There we go. There you go. That's good luck. Yeah. Is that right?
Thank you very much. Did you ever imagine when you first started coaching the longevity, the success that you would have? I'm sure you dreamed about it. I sat up on those stairs. There were no bleachers right there many years ago. And I thought everybody, what's about I saw you when the current players were coming up, reading the comments of the past players. You're getting very emotional. You know, what did it mean hearing a lot of those words and things like that? I've coached those boys for many years. They were tremendous. They're good. First of all, they were good students. They were excellent football players. I enjoyed working with them very much. What's a buck, always a buck. What do you think of the statue? Does it look like you, or? I think it's an honor. It's an honor. Anything else? I love the people from Dunmore. They're great to me. I love them very much. Great, Jack. Thanks. Okay. It was good seeing you again. It's always been a pleasure talking to you and coaching you and covering you all.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Nice. All right, say us about your name.
Jake Henzes, Jakehenzes.
And you are the grandson.
Yes, sir.
Of the legendary Coach Henzes.
Yes, sir.
And who's your parents?
Jack and Denise.
Okay, you're back.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So tell us about what's going through your mind today. Your grandfather being honored with the statue.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable opportunity for our family. He's been an inspiration to everyone in the community of Dunmore, our family, and to be here and celebrate with him is just a beautiful moment for everyone in the Henzes family.
Hey Jake, you realize your grandfather, how many lives he touched? Look at all these folks coming an hour and a half before a game. That means a lot to you, I'm sure.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's 47 years and the amount of success he had on and off the field and the lives that he touched and the people that he was able to help and improve, and it's just an unbelievable thing.
And like everyone said, including myself, you're learning the X's and O's when you're on the team. But you're learning life lessons, respect, everything right down the line.
Absolutely. I mean, that's his greatest quality, is that he is able to create life lessons out of every opportunity. He's able to teach and educate everyone and provide examples and opportunity for them to learn from their mistakes and their successes.
And Jake, I'm an example. I wasn't the goodest football player, as I jokingly say, but the life lessons stuck with me. You know?
Absolutely. It was part of my experience as well, learning from him and being coached by him from a young age, and being so fortunate to be around the program my entire childhood is just wonderful. And I've learned so much as an athlete and now as a coach.
And Jake, let's talk about that. Where are you at right now?
I'm an offensive graduate assistant and assistant quarterbacks coach at Boston College.
Wow. How long have you been doing that now?
About 9 months. 9 months. Yeah, I started this past February.
So looking into the crystal ball, Jake, where do you see yourself in the future?
Oh, I mean, taking it day by day and hopefully continue to learn and grow as a young coach and seeing where the journey takes me.
Are you looking to get to the from college to NFL like we saw Coach Fangio here, or would you consider like a high school level? I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Coach Fangio, Coach John Glenn with the Seahawks. They've shown the roadmap. Coach McNulty, who I currently work for at Boston College, they've shown me the roadmap of how a kid from Scranton, Pennsylvania can make it in this industry and have a long and successful career. So I've been really fortunate to get to know those three guys really well and see where their careers have taken them.
And Jake, you went to Valley View, correct?
Abington Heights.
Abington Heights.
Yes, sir. 2015.
Okay, interview with Dr. Jack Henzes, correct?
Yes.
Son of the legendary coach.
Thank you. Yes, correct.
So Coach, Doc, tremendous family moment here. Just talk about it.
Well, it was a very special moment, and I'd just like to say on behalf of my dad and my family, we want to thank everyone who showed up today. Special thanks to the Friends of the Bucks who were instrumental in raising the funds to have this statue. And the best thing I can say is that my dad had the greatest job for 47 years.
And what does it mean to you and the family? This tremendous turnout, 2 hours before a football game, they turn out to see this event. That's very special.
Well, the Dunmore community is very, very special. My dad has had such support since 1970 when he showed up. The community has always been behind him. They've let their sons come and play, and I'll tell you as much, my dad loved teaching the students more than anything. He loved being an educator. He loved all the students, everything about the school. Like I said, he had the best job for 47 years.
What else? I mean, again, I always jokingly say I wasn't one of the goodest football players, but the life lessons, you don't know at the time, but it sticks with you. Respect, being a leader, all that kind of stuff sticks with the person. Because you forget the X's and O's as you get older. I'm sure the same thing with you, right?
Yes. I think my dad tried to instill in his own children, as well as all the players and students that he taught, that you have to respect yourself first, and when you do that, then you'll move forward in life and you'll do the right thing. And that's what he always preached.
Doc, what was his reaction when he heard that they were doing this? I'm sure
his reaction, well, he never really wanted he doesn't like the limelight. We had to hold the secret from him until yesterday, and we even didn't tell him that. We told him he was getting an award because he would have not been happy with it. He would have been upset that they were going through all this effort for him. He never really liked the limelight. He always wanted the players and the students to be in the front. So
the statue was a surprise?
It was a surprise to him. He didn't know.
Oh, he thought he was getting like a plaque.
Yes. Well, it's probably the worst kept secret in Dunmore since almost everybody knew but him. But nobody told him, and he just didn't. He didn't know till today when they unveiled the statue. He didn't know that he was having a statue in his honor because it's the community is bigger, the school is bigger, the team is bigger than the individuals, and that's what he always preached. So.